Stop whatever you are doing right now, grab a drink, sit down, and breathe. Because Jikook in Texas for day one just completely reset the culture, and I am officially not surviving this era. If you thought you were prepared for what went down in Texas, let me be the first to tell you that none of us were ready. The energy was electric. The crowd was screaming, but amidst all the noise, the lights, and the absolute chaos of day one, there was one thing that stood out so clearly it practically burned through the venue screens. Park Jimin's pure, completely unfiltered, utterly impossible to hide love for Jeon Jungkook was on full display, and I am still trying to pull my heart back together. Welcome back to Jimin Verse, your home for all things Jimin, Jikook, and the softest, most chaotic BTS content on this side of the internet. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because we have so much to dissect today, and honestly, we need to process this together as a family. Let us jump right into Texas day one because from the literal second they stepped out, the tone was set. You know how sometimes you watch a clip and you instantly know it is going to live rent-free in your head for the next decade? That was the entire night. But let us talk about Jimin's eyes first. They say eyes never lie, and whoever came up with that quote must have had Park Jimin watching Jungkook perform in mind. Every single time Jungkook took the mic, every time he moved across the stage, or even when he was just standing there drinking water and talking to the crowd, Jimin's gaze was glued to him. And it wasn't just a casual look. It was that soft, fond, incredibly warm look that Jimin reserves exclusively for Jungkook. You could practically see the heart eyes hovering in the air above Jimin's head. There was this one specific moment during the early part of the event where Jungkook was interacting with the fans in the front row. He was doing his usual adorable, slightly shy banter, speaking in that charming English he has been working so hard on, and the camera caught Jimin standing just a few feet behind him. Jimin wasn't looking at the crowd. He wasn't looking at the cameras. He was looking at the back of Jungkook's head with this smile that was so full of pride and affection it physically hurt to watch. He had his little crescent moon eyes, his shoulders were relaxed, and he was just standing there, soaking in Jungkook's happiness like it was his own source of oxygen. That is pure love right there. That is not something you can rehearse. You cannot script the way Jimin's face completely transforms the moment Jungkook is in his line of sight. And can we talk about the physical proximity? Because personal space simply does not exist in the dictionary of Jikook, especially not when they are on American soil and feeling the high-voltage energy of a Texas crowd. Throughout the entire night, Jimin was like a magnetic satellite orbiting right around Jungkook. Every time they had a free moment between cues or songs, Jimin somehow naturally gravitated right into Jungkook's personal bubble. There was a moment where they were supposed to be standing on opposite sides of the main stage setup. What did Jimin do? He literally walked all the way across, bypassed everyone else, and casually leaned his elbow right onto Jungkook's shoulder like it was the most natural armrest in the world. And the way Jungkook didn't even flinch. He just tilted his head slightly toward Jimin, gave that cute little nose scrunch, and kept talking like they were sitting on their couch back in Seoul instead of in front of thousands of screaming fans. That level of comfort only comes from years and years of absolute trust and deep emotional intimacy. It's in the micro-interactions, guys. It's the way Jimin instinctively reaches out to adjust Jungkook's jacket or fix a strand of hair that fell into his eyes. He didn't even hesitate. In the middle of talking to the audience, Jimin just casually stepped closer, gently tucked a loose piece of hair behind Jungkook's ear, gave his shoulder a soft pat, and stepped back with this little self-satisfied smirk. Meanwhile, the entire stadium was collective screaming because we all saw it. The sheer tenderness of that gesture was overwhelming. It wasn't loud or flashy. It was quiet, protective, and deeply caring. That is the essence of Jimin's love for Jungkook. It is grounded in quiet care and constant reassurance. Let us dive deeper into the vocal and stage chemistry, because Day One in Texas gave us vocal moments that deserve their own museum exhibit. When their voices blend together, it does something to your soul. But what made Texas Day One so incredibly special was how Jimin was hyping Jungkook up during his solos and shared harmonies. When Jungkook hit that high note that literally echoed into the stratosphere, Jimin stopped mid-walk, threw his head back, and started cheering so loudly into his mic that his giggles resonated over the speakers. He looked so genuinely blown away by Jungkook's talent, even though he has heard him sing every day for over 10 years. That is what gets me every single time. Jimin never stops being Jungkook's biggest fan. He looks at Jungkook with the exact same awe and wonder today as he did back in 2013, if not more. And then came the legendary teasing. Because let's be real, it wouldn't be a true Jikook dynamic without Jimin teasing the absolute life out of Jungkook, and Jungkook giving it right back with that mischievous bunny smile. At one point, Jungkook was trying to deliver a serious speech about how much he missed performing and how grateful he was to be in Texas. He was being so sincere, so focused, and Jimin was standing right next to him doing the most hilarious, exaggerated fond nods, mimicking Jungkook's hand gestures in tiny mode. Jungkook caught him out of the corner of his eye, tried so hard to keep a straight face, but within 2 seconds, he broke down into that signature full-body laugh, hiding his face in his hands. Jimin immediately burst into his high-pitched, musical laugh, collapsing sideways right into Jungkook's chest. They were both just standing there on stage, holding onto each other, giggling like 2 school kids who share a secret joke nobody else in the universe understands. That moment right there captured the core of why we love them so much. In a world of high-pressure schedules, massive production budgets, and global spotlight, when Jimin and Jungkook are together, the rest of the world just fades out. They create this little safe bubble around themselves where they can just be Jimin and JK, 2 soulmates who genuinely bring out the absolute purest joy in one another. Jimin's affection for Jungkook isn't just displayed in sweet words. It is displayed in how comfortable he makes Jungkook feel. You can physically see Jungkook relax the second Jimin leans into his space or wraps an arm around his waist. Let us also talk about the backstage and side stage footage that fans managed to capture, because that is where the real tea is. Off camera or on the periphery, Jimin's protective instincts over Jungkook were operating at 100%. Whenever they were transitioning between stages or walking down the ramps where the pyrotechnics were active, Jimin had a hand gently hovering near the small of Jungkook's back, guiding him, making sure he was safe, always keeping an eye on where Jungkook was moving. When the stage fog got a little too dense, Jimin reached out, grabbed Jungkook's wrist, and pulled him closer so they wouldn't get separated in the dim lighting. It is those instinctual, split-second actions that prove Jimin's love is not just for the camera, it is his core instinct. He constantly looks out for Jungkook, prioritizing his comfort and safety above everything else. Texas fans were also giving top-tier energy, and Jikook definitely felt it. The screams every time they stood next to each other were deafening, and you could tell Jimin was loving every single second of it. He kept giving the audience these knowing looks. You know, that classic Jimin eye smile with a slight tilt of the head that basically says, "Yeah, I know you see us, and yeah, he's mine to fuss over." It was bold, it was sweet, and it was undeniably Jikook. Think back to how far they have come together. From the early trainee days in Busan and Seoul, riding the bus together, sharing small rooms, supporting each other through the grueling hours of practice, to now standing in giant American stadiums in Texas, commanding the attention of the world. Through all the growth, the fame, the maturity, the core of their bond has remained completely untouched. If anything, it has grown deeper, softer, and more profound. Jimin watching Jungkook grow from a shy 15-year-old boy into the confident global superstar he is today has created a foundation of love that is unbreakable. And in Texas, on day one, that history was felt in every single gesture. Jimin's love for Jungkook is pure because it expects nothing in return except Jungkook's happiness. You see it in the way Jimin laughs at jokes that aren't even that funny, just because Jungkook was the one who said them. You see it in the way Jimin shares his food, offers his water bottle first, adjusts Jungkook's mic, and cheers the loudest when Jungkook succeeds. You see it in the quiet moments when the music stops and Jimin just stands beside him, looking at him with endless pride and tenderness. It was impossible to hide in Texas because love that deep simply cannot be contained. It overflows in every glance, every touch, every shared laugh, and every quiet smile. Day one in Texas was a masterclass in Jikook's soulmate energy. It reminded all of us why we fell in love with their story in the first place. It's not just about the chaotic fun or the iconic stage moments. It's about the raw, genuine love and deep respect that two human beings can share after going through the fire together and coming out stronger on the other side. We still have more days ahead of us, And if day one was this unhinged and emotionally overwhelming, I honestly don't know how any of us are going to survive the rest of this trip. But one thing is for sure. Park Jimin will continue to wear his heart on his sleeve, and Jeon Jungkook will continue to be the center of his universe. What was your absolute favorite Jikook moment from Texas Day 1? Was it the soft eye contact, the hair tuck, the onstage giggles, or the protective hand on the back? Let me know all your thoughts, theories, and emotional meltdowns down in the comments below. Don't forget to smash that like button if this breakdown gave you butterflies. Share this video with your fellow Jikookers, and make sure to subscribe to Jimin Verse so you never miss a single update, analysis, or deep dive into our favorite duo. Hit that notification bell so you are notified the second the next video drops. Thank you all so much for watching, sending you all so much love, and I will see you right back here on Jimin Verse in the next one. Bye.